Morning,
Good
everybody.
morning.
Howdy. How's everybody doing this morning?
You
Sergio,
never
I don't know what to do with the how in your head right now.
You didn't say it was Cowboy Day.
It's
You should've-
it's that Texas Blood Day here on the House of Nerds show. You know, I had to bust out my trusty cowboy hat.
If we were wearing the yeehaw hat, Sergio, I would have gotten one. You didn't give me the memo.
I figured I'd throw in a little twist for you guys. See how you guys digging it, man. I mean,
I'm jealous. I'm very envious. Of what's
Honestly,
going on.
it goes with your beard.
does it?
With your beard?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can pull it off quite like our good old buddy Joe Bob, but
All right, so Sergio, you said it was that Texas Blood Day. What do you mean by that?
that Texas Blood Day here on the House of Nerds show, guys. We got a good one planned for everybody today. We got the creators of that Texas Blood, Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips, and we're gonna bring them on shortly for you guys. Very hyped, very excited about this. You guys know how much we love that Texas Blood here on the House of Nerds show.
Yeah.
So we're all hype about this. We've been hype. And then a little later on, guys, in the show, there's a big book out this week, Reptillion. I feel like there's a lot of thoughts going on.
We got a lot to talk about because Sergio, you convinced me to get that, and we copped that this week. So yeah, we got lots to talk about with that one.
Okay, I had a feeling. I've got plenty to say as well. So we're gonna get into that. So stick around after the interview, guys, because we will get into Reptillion. But we're gonna get the show started off here, guys. As we said, we have got today for you the one, the only Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips. Let's get into it, baby.
Welcome.
Hey, good morning, guys.
It's our first group of 5 on the show.
The first time we've had both the artist and the writer on the show, so we're excited to have you guys on. Thank you so much for coming out, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. Now I gotta ask you right off the bat, man. Would Joe Bob approve of this bad boy here, or?
I think he would.
Yeah. Okay.
I would like to think that he would. Yeah.
I don't know if you've got a level.
But do you have the boots on though? That's the real question.
I do not have the boots on.
Damn.
I guess.
Damn,
Hold on.
Sergio.
The bigger question is, Sergio, what about those assless chaps?
Ooh. Now that this is a family friendly show, Steven.
Is it?
Well, not really. Not at all. Not at all.
I was gonna say, not with you here, Sergio.
Yeah. So you guys really don't want me to stand up out of my seat right now. That's not a good look for anybody. Thank you guys so much for coming on, guys. We really appreciate this. Do you guys want to let us know where exactly you guys are coming from live right now?
Yeah, I'm in my dad's studio, so I'm here for the weekend. So I've taken over his studio for this. He's downstairs watching live on the TV. So
nice. Hi, Dad. Thank you.
Hi, Sean. And I'm coming to you live from New Jersey.
Awesome.
The great state of New Jersey.
Nice. Digging that. And for those people in the audience who may not be familiar with you gentlemen, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves, who you are, what you do, all that good stuff?
Sure. So I live in Manchester, in England, and I draw that Texas Blood, and I color various things, mostly things by my dad. So reckless, criminal, junkies, and I do freelance illustration as well. But mostly, that Texas Blood is pretty much all I do. So
I was gonna say it's paying off though. So
yeah.
And I mean, I'm born and raised New Jerseyan. And I mean, I have a love affair with the state of Texas, and I turn that into that Texas Blood. So I mean, that's really my thing as well right now.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm a writer. That's what I do. So
awesome.
So
if
Chris,
go ahead, Steve.
Chris, you're in New Jersey. Jacob, you're across the pond.
Mhm.
How did this partnership happen?
Yes.
The internet, the wonderful internet happened. I mean, I was reading Kill or Be Killed, which is an Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips book, and in the back of every issue they would have an essay about a film noir or another, generally film noir, and Jacob would do an illustration for whatever that essay was about. So he would take a frame from that film or characters from the film and draw them. And I saw those and I loved those, and I thought that it would be great as concept art for a short film that I was trying to produce, which would eventually become That Texas Blood. And that's really how we got in touch. Was I think I messaged your DeviantArt page or something like that.
Yeah.
And just said, hey, I got an idea for a thing. If you want to read the script, if you like it, maybe you want to do it. If not, totally cool. But luckily, you liked it. So here we are.
I was just about to ask Jacob, what were your initial thoughts on Chris's pitch there? Did it take much convincing, or?
No, yeah, I really liked it, but yeah, originally it was a short film script. So I did, I think, 5 or 6 illustrations for it, as sort of concept art for the pitch. And then I thought that would be the last thing that I ever did for it, and then cut to, what is it, like over 2 years later, I guess? I don't know when that was.
I think it was a little
3 years?
shorter than 2 years, but it was about a year. Maybe a little over a year.
Yeah.
And then I just couldn't get anything going with it. So I messaged him and I was like, hey, do you want to just draw this as a comic? As a comic, I'll expand it. We'll do it. And that's really the story of how it happened.
Man. So initially, That Texas Blood then started off as a pitch for a film.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's the origin story behind that. But luckily, we got this in the meantime.
Well, the spread where Joe Bob stood next to the car at the end of issue 1, that's that I traced that directly off one of my concept drawings. That I did. So the page before that was like that was one of the concept drawings. I traced it directly off that.
Wow.
I used it in the book. So
yeah,
I think that was before Joe Bob had a mustache too.
Yeah, I put the mustache in. Yeah.
I don't know that I want to live in a world where Joe Bob doesn't have a mustache. He's got a mean stash, so.
He was sort of a bit more anonymous looking, I think, in the earlier drawings, and he was 20 years younger. And
I think he was turning 50 originally, and then I upped the age to 70 at some point. But yeah, he was originally 50, and eventually, he just grew a mustache at some point.
What was the thinking behind that, aging him up? Just more of a veteran, more experience?
I think I liked the fact that it was a little more. It was more like his twilight years at that point. More than just like a turning point in his life. It was more like the coming to a close in terms of his career.
I think the weariness of his character suits being a bit older as well.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those weary characters. A lot of miles on him, and it shows. One of the great things is it shows on his face. You could feel that leathery skin. I love how he's drawn, the expressions. He's been through a lot over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to actually talk about that. So I was rereading That Texas Blood. You guys opened up the first arc with a couple news clippings of some events from earlier in Joe's career. Now, it looks to be like one of them is the story that's being told in arc 2, your brand new arc. You've got issue 7 dropping June 30th for those who don't know.
Wednesday.
This Wednesday. Make sure you guys go and pick that up, man. It's a good one. But yeah, so it seems to be like so one of those news clippings looks like it's going to be the story told in Arc 2. There's another one of the clippings. Are we going to see at any point that being told later on in the that Texas Blood story? Is that planned at all?
I think that we'll get to that. It's going to play into another arc coming up. I'm not sure that we may see it in flashback. I'm not sure we're going to see it in explicit detail, but it will lead into where we are in another arc going forward.
Gotcha. And I just wanted to get this question here since you mentioned the arcs. We have a comment in the chat. Is the second arc completely new from the original pitch, or did you actually plan it this way? So, I don't know how many arcs you thought you were going to get once that Texas Blood started getting out there.
Yeah. So if you were to look at our original pitch packet, we really broke down the entire series in like a paragraph. So it's just, like a couple words thrown out, but Eversol's name is mentioned. Including what this arc is going to be about. So we really got into where things will be going in the pitch. So yeah, it's all in there in terms of a really rough roadmap.
So that being said, it sounds like you have a definitive ending in mind for this. Is this one where it's a story that it has to have an ending? It's not something that will just keep going on forever?
Well, I think the lucky thing for us is that I like to sprinkle things into the back matter and like things like the newspaper articles that you see. So hopefully, I think that the title, That Texas Blood, would come to an end. But I think that there's room to potentially. I mean, if sales are enough and everything else, but there's room to tell other stories that take place within this county and with some of the characters that are mentioned, maybe some of the characters that we see.
I think
you guys
sort of started setting up a whole world now, which you can sort of build on forever until you run out of everyone in the town or in the county.
Yeah. Maybe there's going to be that Jersey Blood. Or that Toronto Blood, or that, Yeah,
we're just going to go through every single one of the states. We might go to countries. We're just going to diversify as much as possible.
Are there, if you continue, if this became like like you said, it's a bigger universe that can possibly expand. If it did start expanding, are there other creators that you guys already kind of have in mind that you would love to have help expand your universe and continue helping it grow? Because if it ever gets big enough, you might not be able to do it all yourselves, even though you guys are the original and clearly the best.
Jacob didn't like your question.
There was a fly in here. It just flew out the door, so I shut the door.
He was like another creator on this.
Like, I can't share it. No.
He's like, no, I'm gone out of this interview.
That's it, yeah.
I mean, I only plan on working on this with Jacob. I don't know, how long this will eventually take. Maybe I'll be 70 when the last Texas book is coming out. I don't know.
Oh man!
But yeah, I have no plans to work with anybody else on the series aside from covers, other than with Jacob.
Yeah, I think.
It's our baby
though, so. Itch for that kind of thing.
Yeah, and we both like the stories that we're telling, and we both like just the way that we handle characters, and I don't know. I think we just both kind of like how we're doing it. So I don't really see us branching out in that way.
So if the publisher came to you and I was like, "Hey guys, we want to expand your universe, but we still want you on this main book, but we want somebody else to write a spinoff of That Texas Blood," you wouldn't be down to spinning it off anytime soon?
I don't think so. But we're just at issue 7 at this point.
Right.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think so. Like I said, I enjoy it would be cool. almost like Black Hammer Visions or something would be
Yeah.
cool. But I mean, I don't think we have the readership of Black Hammer. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy just writing the characters and exploring the world myself, and I know Jacob does as well. There's something that's mentioned in the back matter of issue 7 that Jacob the other day messaged me about. I was like, "Hey, are we gonna?" And I was like, "Maybe." So,
And for those who haven't checked, well, issue 7 drops on Wednesday, so most of people have not had the chance to check it
Mhm.
out. But I want to point out, guys, do not skip out on the back matter. That's some of my favorite stuff. It's not just throwaway material. It definitely it adds and enriches the whole That Texas Blood universe, the Ambrose County universe.
Mhm.
I know a lot of times guys are flipping through the issue, they get to the last panel and they put it down. Do not skip on the back matter, guys. It's fantastic. You're gonna dig it. And definitely adds to the mystery and intrigue on that stuff. Is that something planned throughout the following issue, guys? Continue that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love it. I love seeing when we get the finished pages, and for example, there's it's just something silly, but there's the post-it note on like a page, because that's all supposed to be like Eversol's documents
Mhm.
that he's collected. Just seeing that stuff come to life is really interesting to me. But yeah, we're gonna see throughout this arc, and I think potentially throughout all the arcs, back matter of some sort. But yeah, this one definitely, I think the point of this arc was also to help sort of develop the sort of mythology of our world and this county, and I think that the back matter is definitely doing that. You don't necessarily I would obviously love if everybody read it. You don't need to read it though. The story is in the comic, but it definitely adds something to it. And
yeah, I think we do the same when we did the baseball T-shirts and stuff like that, and they're in the. I don't know if they're in number 7, but I've definitely put a few people wearing those baseball shirts in issues 8 or 9.
Okay.
So just the fact that we've got that fictional team as well that's never mentioned at any point in the story, but that kind of thing where you sort of build the whole world.
I love that.
It's great fun.
Well, at the back of issue 7, we know that Joe Bob and Martha are fans, so
yeah,
we see them wearing their shirts.
So then when Chris finishes the story, or I guess the script for that, and he sends it to you, Jacob, what's your process on doing what you do? With it being like a co-creator joint, I imagine how loose is some of the script that Chris gives you? How much free range do you get to add in your own mix of things?
It's quite a lot of not necessarily direction in terms of Chris often will have an angle in mind or a certain shot in mind, but when it comes to actually planning out the page, maybe that shot won't work, or I don't want to necessarily want to repeat a shot that I've already had or something like that.
Right.
And Chris never complains whenever I change it. So
No.
so yeah, because I don't show Chris anything until the pencils, so he doesn't see. Well, I think occasionally I've sent over thumbnails, but very rarely does Chris see anything until I send over a finished pencil page. And then,
well, the thumbnails are written in your special language for yourself anyway.
Exactly. There's no point in sending over the thumbnails. He doesn't know what they are. So, so I tend to do that. I read through the script once, and then I'll read it again whilst I thumbnail it, and then. But a lot of the time, sometimes I just miss things in the script as well, like a certain piece of direction. And then I'll forget about it because when I come to pencil it, I'll often shift things around to make sure that it fits with the dialogue and all that sort of thing from my thumbnail. So I might have something in my thumbnail that Chris wanted, and then when it comes to actually penciling it, I'll completely forget that was meant to be there. So I think there's occasionally things where I'll drop it, but then I'll add my own things in as well and try and make sure it works visually, because often what you have in your head doesn't necessarily work when it comes to the playing out the page visually. So yeah, I tend to try and stick to it as much as I can. So it still tells the story that Chris is trying to tell. But yeah, try and put my own input into it, my own twist on it as well.
For sure. I just wanted to throw this comment up there. Looks like we got some fans from France. Boris from Comic Stories, That Texas Blood is out in France, and we are very happy to be able to read this excellent comic book. Thanks, guys.
I'm very happy as well. That's amazing to hear. I mean,
I got my copies the other day, and it looks great in hardback. Looks amazing.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I can't wait to get mine. I still haven't gotten mine yet, but I'm really excited to see them. I mean, did I ever think that our book would be translated into another language? No, but it's very, very cool, and I'm very glad that it's available.
I'm curious to see how well the word "well" translates in French. I'm wondering how that would play out. I don't know. Maybe a quick Google Translate for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and take some more French classes.
Yeah, I do have a French friend that's read it in English, so maybe I'll give it to her as well and see how she can see the difference. But they took that out of the title, so it's just Texas Blood in France now.
What?
Texas Blood. I don't know if it's got the same ring to it. I got to be honest, guys.
That's 1/3 of the brand. God, that's 33%. God.
Apparently it worked better in French that way.
Okay, translates better. Jacob, in issue number 7, you're doing something a little bit different with the art there. You're implementing a digital as well as a traditional style in the art. What was the decision behind that? And between the two, what are maybe some of the challenges as opposed to the other? Do you have a preference?
Yeah, well, basically, I thought we needed a way to visually show the jumps in time so you can instantly see where you're at in terms of 1981 or 2021. And that just seemed like a sort of obvious way of doing it. And I wanted to... It sounded fun as well to mix up how I was inking anyway. So all the pencils are done exactly the same. I digitally pencil it, and then I print it out and ink it traditionally. And I also color it differently.
Okay.
But yeah, I just wanted to sort of keep it fun and try something else out as well, because I think I sort of, as this is our first book, I sort of jumped into a style and I had to sort of stick it out, even if there were things that I wanted to change. Mm-hmm. I can't necessarily change it now because I'm 7 issues in. I don't want to completely change how I've been drawing it. So this seemed like a good opportunity to be able to play around a bit more, and it still makes sense. I do really like doing it, but I prefer the fact that I get to sit down whilst I do it digitally. Whereas if I do it traditionally, I have to stand up all day. So that's probably the main downside. And it's just harder to it's harder to do it traditionally, I think, because you have to have more skill with the actual tool, I think, that you're using, because you can't undo it as easily. Yeah. You can obviously go and white it out, but there's no Command Z. So I'm constantly reaching for my keyboard and there's nothing there. I'll just have to live with that line now.
That's it.
And I try not to go in and change anything once I've scanned it. I don't want to go and fix things digitally, because that sort of defeats the point of doing it on the paper then. But yeah, so it was just an excuse to play around a bit more, and hopefully it looks as good. And I guess the most important part is that it tells the story, so you can easily tell where you are at a glance, which is the most important part.
Well, yeah, I feel that there's quite the contrast between the two styles, and I've been going back and forth. Love all both styles, but I gotta say I think I'm leaning towards the traditional, the 1981 era. It looks amazing on the pages. When I saw that, I was honestly blown away. I can imagine, Chris, what your reaction was when you first saw his traditional style.
I actually passed out. I mean, it really was fantastic. When he told me that he was thinking about doing it traditionally, I thought that was a really great idea, and it would definitely set apart the 1981 sequences from the 2021 sequences, and it really does set it apart. And I love the 2021 sequences because they're colored absolutely beautifully. There's especially when Joe Bob is sitting on his porch. It's in the preview pages that were released. But there's a panel where Joe Bob is sitting on the porch smoking a cigarette because he's a naughty boy, and the way that Jacob colored the lights, I think, is absolutely unique, and he did it in Reckless as well. And I just want to highlight it because I think that it's absolutely brilliant. He used his fingerprint whirl as the light that was emitting from the bulbs.
Oh, wow.
So it adds a texture to it in the actual, just on the panel, but it also, since it's a crime story, it adds an almost subconscious crime element to it. So I mean, I think it's fantastic. I think the 2021 stuff is fantastic, and I think that the traditional stuff is fantastic because it even prints on the page differently.
Yeah.
The traditional is.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, digital black, which is like absolute black. So it's got this different gradient to it. Which I think is really unique. I can't recall any other books that I've seen recently that look like that.
Yeah, and with the colors as well, I tried to sort of pull back the colors to just sort of basic flat color, which is really quick. I found out, so that's really fun. But it does have definitely has its own challenges where normally when there's a light source in a dark room, say, it's easy just to sort of throw a light on that and then pick out highlights. But when you can't highlight anything because it's all flat, you have to figure out where it is. So I think it's the second to last page of issue 7. There's the police car coming towards them, and trying to figure out how to color the flashing light against a sort of dark scene was really difficult. It seems so easy, and then I think looking at it looks quite simple, but to figure out how all that works is like a whole different skill I had to learn. I can't just sort of botch it with highlights and throw a color over it, because I never learned how to properly color. I just have to make it up as I go along. So I can only color how I color. I could never teach someone to do it because I have no idea how you do it properly. But I'm having to learn how to do this now. But it's great fun.
So then, with the flashback stuff, are you limiting yourself on what colors you can and can't use to make it a certain style?
Not really. I'm sort of putting a yellowy wash over everything, which sort of brings all the colors together anyway. I do it quite a lot anyway, just to sort of marry everything together. If it's a certain time of day and you want that golden glow or whatever. But yeah, just to try and make it look a bit more aged, even though all the margins and gutters are all white anyway, as they are on the modern day stuff. But just to give it that sort of hue of sort of like aged paper, and there's a bit of a texture on it as well, which you can't really see particularly well when it's printed. But I think digitally you can, and I think even on the printed one, you can you might not be able to really see it if you're looking at it, but it gives a certain texture to it, which is slightly different from that again. But even if you don't notice it, I think subconsciously it's there.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm not really, but I'm not limiting my palette in any way, really.
Well, that texture is definitely noticeable, at least on the digital format for sure. One of the things that stood out immediately to me. It's got like a gritty feel to it, the grainy, and it adds to that being taken back to a past era, a different era, right? Love that stuff.
I liked your wording of like you don't limit your palate. That sounds like something that could be written into that Texas Blood issue. I don't know who would say it, but somebody saying that in like some really creepy or maybe not the most acceptable way. But yeah, no, that made me think too. I was like, well, I'm glad you're not limiting your palate because you guys are actually the first creators we've had on the show that are willing to play a game with us today.
Yeah.
Yes.
And do something different. So I'm really excited about this.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know how they're gonna feel. How you guys are gonna feel about after. I mean, you agreed to it. So now you guys are in it. Man. You guys may have messed up. I don't know.
We signed a prenuptial.
You signed the contract.
I'll be interested to see how good we are at it, considering we've never met.
True.
In person, so.
That's true.
Well, the good
You guys
news
never met
is
in real life.
No.
Wow. Look at that.
the good news is Steve and I haven't either, and you're playing against us today. So.
So level playing field, guys. There's no excuses. So thanks for agreeing. I kind of had to twist Chris's arm a little bit. Made him sign the contract, so now you guys are locked in. So, guys, what we have planned today, it's a newlywed style game, but we're calling it Partners in Crime. That Texas Blood is a book with some crime in it, crime noir, murder mystery, all that good stuff. So we figured, let's see just how good of partners in crimes you guys really are. And I gotta say, right off the bat, you two gentlemen have got to be one of the most intimidating guys I've ever seen. Look at those photos. They strike a fear.
I mean, I'm in particular terrified of Chris's face there. I don't know how I'm going to beat that.
What you don't see is that on the other side of the frame is a dead body.
There you go. So it's 5 rounds, guys. I'm gonna ask you questions, and each round to each team is worth 2 points. So I'm gonna ask you a question. What is your favorite color? You're gonna write down what your favorite color is, and then you're gonna write down what you think your partner's favorite color is. So potential of 2 points per round, 10 points total. And, the investigators in Ambrose County have told me in order to be considered good partners in crimes, you have to get, they're easy evaluators, only 5. Only 5 guys have a potential 10 points. So lots of room.
So they're playing against Steve and I, right, Sergio?
Yes. Okay. So Lauren, Steve, you guys are pitted against Chris and Jacob. Everyone in the audience, place your bets. Place your bets now. Who do you guys think what duo is gonna come out on top? So Lauren, if we can get into this, click that slide. For your first heist, which holy grail are you going after? Oh, a little bit.
I go too far?
Lauren, just have to say, Teddy Kuttner and the boys, if you guys don't choose correctly, these guys here, they're going to have something to say about it. So make sure you guys choose correctly.
That's terrifying. Okay.
Which holy grail?
I want to throw in real quick. I think it's in issue 8. There's a nod to Kuttner's father. So you haven't heard the last of the Kuttners.
I will hope not. I very much enjoyed Kuttner and the boys. Some great stuff. So, first job. What are you guys going after? What is the holy grail of holy grails? X-Men #1. Action Comics #1. The first appearance of Superman. Detective Comics 27, first Batman, guys, or the first appearance of Spider-Man in Amazing Fantasy 15. Write down your answers.
Oh,
Think.
dang it. I'm
One
so
is gonna
mad.
choose.
'Cause Steve, it could go either way with you. I'm really mad right now.
I know.
All right. So let's ease Chris and Jacob into this. We're gonna go Lauren, Steve first. All right. You guys ready?
All right.
Okay. So Lauren, now, what do you think Steve is gonna choose as his holy grail?
This is hard because he reads Spider-Man all the time, but he enjoys X-Men. But just because it's him, I'm going with Spider-Man.
Steven?
You put X-Men, didn't you?
ASM, Amazing Fantasy.
Yeah!
Oh,
Yes!
Okay.
I win. Let's go.
Okay, so you guys
God
got
bless.
1 point there. Okay. Now, Steve,
Yep.
what did you think Lauren was gonna answer for her first grail?
Okay, well, only knowing Lauren, I went with X-Men.
X-Men. Okay.
It's actually not my top grail, but yep, out of these, that's probably the one I'd want.
Wow, 2 for 2 so far. Okay, Chris, the pressure's already Chris Jacob, the pressure's already there on you guys. Chris, what are you thinking Jacob is gonna choose as his holy grail?
Well, I'm thinking that he's picking Amazing Fantasy.
Amazing Fantasy. Okay, Spider-Man, can't go wrong. Jacob, what are you going with? What is your holy grail you guys are going after?
That's it. There you go. Amazing.
Amazing
Fantasy.
Fantasy.
Nice!
Perfect.
Look at that. You guys are on point, man. Okay, all right. Now, Jacob, to tie it up, what are you thinking Chris is going to choose as his holy grail?
I think. Oh God! There you go. Detective Comics.
Active Comics. Look at that.
Ah!
Okay, it's not too bad. You guys are on point, man. Clearly know each other. I think I'd be in the doghouse if I were to play with my. I don't know. I'd get any of these questions. But, next question. What do we got coming up here? How do you take your steak? Now, this is a tough one because we got our boy here, Randy. If you don't answer correctly, guys, this is important. You don't want to mess around with a man's steak. You gotta make sure everything's on point here. So, how do you take your steak here, guys? Pretty straightforward. You got a couple options there. I need everybody to write down your answers. I'll give you a moment. And just let you guys know. There's only one right answer here. So
I agree, and
if you guys don't answer my preferences, I'm not giving you guys the points. So.
Yeah, it's black and blue, right?
I have no clue. So sorry, Steve. I totally got this wrong.
It's a shot in the dark. You have 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 you can get, right?
I don't even know what kind of eater you are, Steve. So
I like food. I eat it. That's pretty much it.
So Lauren,
you're a demon. Got it.
Have you got your answers?
Yep.
Beautiful. Lauren, how do you think Steve is going to take his steak?
So he sounds like a demon with meat. So I don't know how much of a demon though, but I put rare. Are you that much of a heathen, Steve?
I am not. I actually like tasting my meat. I prefer it medium rare.
Medium
rare. Okay, so you guys didn't get that one. Okay. And the correct answer is medium rare, guys. There's only Now, Steve, what are you thinking Lauren is how's she gonna take her meat?
I'm thinking Lauren is just medium well.
Medium well. Okay.
You were close, but medium. I'm not that much of a terrible person.
Okay. All right. Chris, how are you thinking Jacob is taking his steak? How do they do it over in the UK?
Well, I don't know about the rest of the UK, but I think that Jacob doesn't.
Got him.
Oh.
I'm giving you guys the point.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Look at that. Okay, we got Jacob vegetarian cauliflower steak. Not too shabby.
He wouldn't survive in Texas.
Now, Jacob, how are you thinking Chris takes his takes a steak over in the fair state of New Jersey?
Well, based on his script, I would say, well done.
Ew, that's an insult here.
Wow. I mean, I wish that I had thought of something that clever. I went with me.
My man gives it the correct answer. Okay.
As someone I've never eaten steak, so I have no idea what any of this means.
Oh,
Right.
man.
So
Well,
1
there's
point.
only one correct answer, Jacob. If you
They're
were,
still up though. They're still up by 1.
yeah, they're still up by 1. You know what? I'm just gonna throw it in there. I would have guessed well done too, considering Randy takes his toast burnt, coffee black.
Yeah.
I probably would have guessed well done as well there. So
Well, that's how you know Randy's an animal. He likes everything burnt. He's got no taste buds. He's got zero palate.
I gotta say
That was based off of a customer I had when I was waiting tables at a restaurant. Always came in, toast burnt. I give him the toast. He's like, it's not burnt enough. Just send it back. I'm like, you're crazy, man. You're crazy. I'm like, you kill people, don't you? Yeah.
I gotta say I take offense to that because I think that's when I truly fell in love with that Texas blood. Randy being my spirit animal, the only way to take your toast is black. The only way to take your coffee is black, guys.
I mean, I like a good dark color in it, but
you don't want to eat charcoal.
I don't want flames on it. Let's
Who
say.
doesn't want flames in the morning?
All
I
right.
want to
okay.
actually taste it.
Next question, guys. This one's a little easier. No,
There's like 500 characters.
I was gonna say, what do you mean easier? I don't even know if Steve likes The Simpsons or not, Sergio.
I mean, I do. It used to be my favorite show.
Oh, okay. Well, that
if
helps.
you don't love The Simpsons, you can't be on this show, Steve. So this one, a little more lighthearted. Those other ones have some pressure on here. No wrong answer, guys. Who's your favorite Simpsons character?
That's like 1 out of 1,000. How do you guess that?
Well, we
I was gonna say, if it's one
narrow it
Steve's
down?
favorite.
we
Yeah.
can narrow it down to the characters on this screen.
Out of the ones on there, okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's
let's
more
do that.
doable.
Let's
All
do
right.
Yeah.
I don't even remember all their names, if I'm honest. It's been a while since I watched it.
Now I'm
Patty.
going to tell you, because there's so many options, this round is worth 3 points, guys.
Oh my god.
I'm giving you the Trey points.
Jesus.
All right?
What if I don't remember their name?
Okay, there's Lisa,
Descriptive.
Millhouse, Terry, Sherry, Otto, Nelson, Mr. Burns, Smithers, Ned Flanders, Apu, Homer, Barney, Mo.
You get the gist. You
Skinner.
get the gist, yeah.
Got it.
All right.
That's
I don't
fair
even know-
enough.
I don't even know who I like.
Well, then I definitely got this wrong then.
Let me know when
I
you guys are ready.
I mean, I picked a person. I don't know if it's true.
All right.
But in
We're
this
going to kick
moment,
off this round with Chris. Chris, what are you thinking Jacob is going to choose as his favorite Simpsons character?
I mean, I would like to pick all of them, but I picked.
Millhouse.
Oh,
Wait.
Oh, editing answers.
Millpool.
Millpool.
yes, everything's coming up. Millhouse.
I used to have a Millpool cap.
Well, pretty close. Now, Jacob, what's the answer? Who is your favorite Simpsons character?
Millhouse.
You gotta be kidding me. Wow. What are the chances? Oh, you guys get 3 points with that one. The pressure's on, guys. Steve, Lauren. Now, Jacob, who are you thinking?
Yeah,
Chris's
this is a guess, but
favorite
it's
character?
another one of my favorites, so we'll see. Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns.
Oh,
That's
I
an
was going
interesting
to put
choice.
Mr. Burns, but I did not. I put.
Krusty.
Krusty. Man, okay. I'm gonna say psychologically, man, what does this say about you guys choosing these characters? You got Mr. Burns, Krusty the Clown. Okay, it's curious choices, guys, but I'm digging it. Lauren,
Frank Grimes is up there as well.
Frank Grimes is
Yeah.
great.
classic, man, classic.
Or Lenny. Why is Lenny not an option?
He should have been. I would have gone with Duffman myself.
Mm.
Duffman.
Can't go wrong.
Well, Duffman's not on there, is he? He's not in the picture.
No,
yeah, see?
Unfortunately.
Lauren, who are you thinking is Steve's favorite Simpsons character?
I don't know, bruh. You know what? I just put who I think Steve is half the time. You can be Ned. I love you, Steve.
Wow.
I promise I mean that with love.
Oh my god.
Steve, buddy.
Okay, well, I went.
If it's Homer, I'm going to lose it, or Bart. If it's one of those two, I'm going to be mad at myself.
So I went between a bunch of characters from like Krusty to Maggie, but I even Milhouse. I landed on Nelson.
Nelson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would never guess that.
So you're telling me you're a bully, Steve. Okay.
No, he has character growth. He's got a past that brings him
So
down.
you were a bully, but you've had character growth, is what you're telling me.
No, I can understand some of the things going on with Nelson. He's just a sad boy, guys. He's just
relating to a bully.
Steve, what are you thinking is Lauren's favorite character?
I think Lauren likes Lisa.
Lisa. Okay.
Lisa is a good answer.
Can't go wrong with Lisa. Can't go wrong.
Lisa is great, but have you met Marge Simpson herself?
The enabler of the family.
I love that, man. Hey, no love for Chief Wiggum, guys. What's going on?
Hell no.
So I went from Krusty to Chief Wiggum to Maggie, possibly Mo, and then I landed on Nelson.
I mean, really?
Yeah, I was bouncing too.
I don't think
I'm like Mr. Burns, Krusty, Grandpa. I don't know. There's so many good ones.
So many classics. So many classics. That does it for this round here. So we've got it's a 6-2 lead for Chris and Jacob, guys.
Oh,
so,
just rub it in.
A commanding lead.
No, if you did the points correctly, 2 per round, 3 for this one. They have 9 points. We have 4 points.
Oh, because they both got that's right.
Oh, you made the points.
9-2.
You made this.
I was wrong. See, I was trying to keep you guys into the game here, guys.
Right.
It's a 9-2 lead for Chris and Jacob. Wow. Okay.
9-4. 4. Sergio, we're not that bad. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So, what do we got here now? What kind of casserole dish was Martha going to make in that infamous issue number 1, all about Joe getting that casserole for Martha, 70th birthday celebration?
I'm so attacked because I don't remember.
Right.
I haven't read issue 1 in a while. I'm so sorry.
They never specifically said.
They never say.
No. So, if you want to hit that slide there, Lauren, we got a couple options here. With cream, it's fish and cream. Now you've got here a flying Jacob.
It's obviously the flying Jacob.
Jacob.
So Sergio, just for everyone to know, right now there's a lot of mental gymnastics that have to be done because I'm not choosing what I like or what Lauren likes. I'm choosing what Lauren thinks Martha would choose.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, I'd go that. Yeah, you can do that, man. And then you got some other options: lasagna, macaroni and cheese.
Oh, so we're still doing the question. Okay. Even though there's no right answer.
The right answer is choosing what you choose, Lauren. I have a 1 in 4.
Well, I just said it, Steve. So if you missed it 2 minutes ago, I'll be mad at you.
We actually have a casserole recipe somewhere, and I can't remember what it was.
Did you guys really in the script?
We've got an unpublished
No, it
casserole
was going to be an extra.
Yeah.
Wow.
The actual recipe is for a green bean casserole.
Green bean casserole. Was
But
the
for the-
Good choice.
Okay, can't go wrong.
Well, but in the spirit of the game, we'll pick one of these 4. But I actually reached out to the family that I'm good friends with in Texas, and I asked them, what's like a very Texas casserole? Because I was going to pick green bean casseroles, and that was one of like the 3 that they sent me. Anyway, so I was like, all right, cool.
Nice. Out of curiosity, what were the other 2?
I believe it was like a taco casserole, and then I don't remember what the other one was. Yeah, but it was like a taco casserole. So it's basically like a taco just like spilled out into a casserole dish.
All right. Well, green bean it is. It can't go wrong. You got to get your veggies in. So, Lauren, what are you thinking is Steve's choice
I don't know because Steve's logic is always messed up. So if he didn't pick Flying Jacob, I'm gonna be mad at him.
Guess what,
Hey.
Lauren? I picked Flying Jacob.
Hey, right on. Flying Jacob, you guys got 1 point. So now you're only behind by about 15 points, guys.
We'll see.
That's
Hold on.
2 points. Two
Yeah.
points a question, Sergio.
Now,
God.
Steve,
Yeah.
what are you thinking Lauren's choice of castle?
Flying Jacob.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Same
There you
brain.
Easy peasy, guys. Easy peasy. Come on.
What is a flying Jacob?
So
Yeah.
I had the notes on that.
Jacob care to
I'm gonna pull it up for you a little later. While I'm looking for that, Chris, what are you thinking is Jacob's choice of casserole for Martha?
Well, I'm going to make this call. I'm going to say lasagna. I went through like 3 different ideas here, and I went with lasagna. I thought maybe he'd go for lasagna. Maybe he wouldn't go for the flying Jacob joke, but we'll see.
No, I did.
Yeah!
Chris took a big risk there. You know, he's trying
I
to.
feel like I let you down.
Didn't pay off that time. Jacob, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Chris is gonna answer.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. Mac and
Yes.
cheese. Wow.
Here we go.
The commanding lead continues. Now, for those who
I
don't
wrote flying Jacob on that page like 5 different times and then crossed it out, just so you know.
A Flying Jacob is a Swedish casserole composed of chicken, cream, chili sauce, bananas, roasted peanuts, and bacon.
Wow, that sounds like it's flying off the plate.
I gotta say, that's sounding pretty tasty, guys.
So my mental gymnastics for choosing this was it was what Martha was going to make, and it seems like Martha's in like a health kick, and she read somewhere that rice was healthy, so that with side of rice and salad,
Ooh.
that was like the linchpin for me.
Okay, nothing to do with the fact it was named after the.
No,
okay.
it was the rice.
Fair enough.
I have to
Alright,
say,
guys.
I picked the mac and cheese because of the beef.
Mac and cheese. Yeah, you can't go wrong with mac and cheese. It's filling. It's tasty.
Or beef.
Or beef, yeah. Next question. This is an important one, guys. This is here and worth another 3 points. After a long, hard day of snake wrangling, what is Joe Bob's preferred beverage of choice? He's long, hard.
There is
day.
a right answer to this as well.
Absolutely.
There is.
There is a right answer. So you got good old brewski, good old beer. You got tequila. You got some Texas whiskey. And the fourth option, you get your happy cowboy, all 3. Yeah.
That's a death sentence. A great one, but death sentence.
I feel like Joe Bob can handle it, guys. I'm just saying. Yeah.
That would make for an interesting issue.
I think so. All right, we're gonna kick it off. Lauren, Steve, are you guys ready?
I'm ready. I can go.
Yep.
Beautiful.
All right.
Lauren, what are you thinking Steve is gonna answer? What is Joe
Man.
Bob's?
It was between 2. I feel like I'm wrong, but I stuck with this one. I said whiskey.
Yeah, Texas whiskey.
Let's go.
All right, you guys get triple the points there. You're catching up here. Now, Steve, what are you thinking? Lauren's saying.
Come on, Steve. Same brain.
Lauren is saying just straight up beer. He's having like a Coors or something.
Damn it, Steve. No. Whiskey again.
Okay. Gentlemen, what is Joe Bob's choice of poison? Chris, what are you thinking Jacob's choosing?
I mean, I think Jacob's choosing the correct answer.
Beer.
Here.
Excellent. I know I like you guys. Beer. Okay, Jacob. Yo, what is Joe Bob's choice of poison?
Beer, but specifically Doyle's Light.
Oh.
Okay.
Love it.
Excellent.
You picked it at the end of issue 2.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, no, the start of issue 2.
Okay. Now, Jacob, what are you thinking Chris is choosing?
The same again. Beer.
Yep.
Doyer's
Chris?
Light.
Doyer's Light for 2021 Doyers heavy for 1981.
Excellent. And with that, man, you guys just jumped out in front big time. I think we got one more.
Do
we?
Maybe bonus question.
All right.
Now, you guys, there's quite the discourse
Lord.
on this and the socials on the interwebs. Pretty straightforward. All we need is a yes or no answer, guys. Now, Lauren, Steve, I'm gonna give you guys the opportunity to maybe close the gap on this one. This one's worth, let's say, 10 points. 10 points. All right. Pretty simple. I'm gonna start with you, Lauren.
Oh, you want me to have written already? I thought we had to write it. I knew the answer, but I thought I'm supposed to write it. The answer is yes. Thank you very much. Steve would say yes. If he doesn't,
Steven?
we'll have a conversation.
My answer is he does it perfectly.
Take it.
10 points to you guys. Steve, what do you think Lauren's choosing?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, she thinks that.
Yes, I wrote that, but my long answer is that shouldn't be the question. The question is, why are we doubting that Catwoman would accept anything less if that's something she's into? Come on! This is insulting to Selena.
There you go.
This isn't about Bruce.
You guys have taken the lead over Chris and Jacob now. This bonus question, guys.
Well, then we take it back, Sergio.
Chris, what are you thinking, Jacob? If you were to illustrate, good old Batman, is it a yeah or a nay? Yes. Excellent. Yes. There you go. Jacob, if Chris is writing, a black label.
Yes,
there we go. Boom. But off the clock. Love it. And with that, guys, concludes our issue, first episode of Partners in Crime. Thanks for playing. I appreciate it.
So they demolished us, even though you guys have never met.
So you guys clearly have what it takes to be partners in crime. I don't think there was ever any doubt putting out this banger of a title called That Texas Blood. So it's working out for you guys so far, I would say.
Thanks.
Lauren, Steve, did you guys have anything else for Chris and Jacob? These fine gents here.
No, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for joining us. This has been a fun episode.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank y'all for playing the game with us. We've been, like I said, dying to have some creators crack the game ice here. So I appreciate y'all being good sports and putting up with our terrible jokes.
terrible jokes, corny jokes. Yeah. But thank you guys for playing along. Before you guys did get out of here, I just want to quickly ask. We touched on the world building earlier on. One of the best things about this universe that you guys are creating is honestly very rich. There's so many, it seems like every character you guys introduce, I feel like you've got bios for them, their dialogue, everything. Some characters I'm hoping we get a chance to revisit down the line. You got King Benchley, you've got is it Benchley, and then you got Kit as well. Characters are these characters that we're gonna see down the line at some point, or?
Yeah, absolutely. So for the Patreon, which if anybody wants to check it out, it's patreon.com/Condon Phillips. I write letters personalized letters for everybody in the $6 tier and the $10 tier. And if Sean is still listening, he gets one every month. I don't know if he reads them, but I send them. Sometimes I shake things up and I'll write a little short story, a page-long short story, and one of them was actually about Kit that you just mentioned. But so if anybody's interested in something like that, sometimes it's just a straight-up letter where I'm kind of just telling you what's going on in our lives and what we're doing, and but other times it's a short story. 2 months ago, I think I did a letter from the Ambrose Radler's manager of the baseball team.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so it's sort of a fun thing, but yeah, we'll definitely get to play around with these characters. That's one of the things that I love about the fact that our comic is set in like a small community. Is that characters are constantly recurring. Everybody knows each other, and we get to explore everybody's history together, which I think is very much what those communities are like. At least in my experience, is that everybody sort of experiences everybody else's history to a certain extent.
For sure. Small
absolutely.
town, everybody knows your name type deal.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I always tell this story about when I was one of the times that I was down in Texas, and my friend's father, whose name is Joe Bob, lent the name to our main character. He said I could borrow his pickup truck, but he said the one stipulation was that when I'm driving and I got my hands on the wheel, whenever I pass somebody, I have to go like this. Because he said if I don't wave at anybody, they're gonna think he's being a jerk. And he said, I don't want anybody to think I'm a jerk, Chris. I said, okay, Joe, no problem. But so yeah, that's the world.
Interesting. Because I think in a big city, if you wave at somebody, you are a jerk. What is this weird?
They're gonna undeck you. They're gonna be like, "Why are you looking at me like that?" Yeah.
Where I come from, that's usually the
yeah.
What are you doing?
Who's this guy think he is? Eh?
I'm walking here.
Well, Chris, you mentioned the Patreon you guys have. Before y'all go, is there anything you want to plug? I know you've got your Patreon. You said you mentioned to us earlier before the show you have a store for that Texas Blood stuff, right?
Yes,
we do.
I just noticed that you're wearing the T-shirt as well.
I would love to model for you our T-shirt.
Yeah.
As you can see, it says "well," and Joe Bob is looking down at a well.
Wow.
Can you see on the back? So yeah, I mean it's a T-shirt.
We got a free modeling show today. This wasn't even planned.
So we're gonna put a link to your guys' store.
Yep.
So everybody can grab one of those fine well T-shirts. One last quick question: the origin of well. I've got to know. Where did you come up with this?
Well,
comes from the real Joe Bob.
The real Joe Bob. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a thing that he just inserts into a sentence or into we'll be walking down the street and go well.
Yeah. I've tried to implement into my into my daily dialogue. I don't think I'm using it right. So maybe you guys can give me some tips later on down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, because guys are just I'm just getting all kinds of funny looks and the middle fingers. So clearly not using it right. Thank you guys so much, man, for hanging out with us. It was a great time. You guys are great sports, man. Issue 7, guys. That Texas Blood out this Wednesday. Check out my advanced review.
Where's it?
One right over there. Yep, there it is. You got the A cover. You got the variant cover, which is crazy. Yeah, pull it out, show it off. Oh, there you go.
Glass over.
I got it here too.
Boom.
You look at both screens. Look at that.
Yeah,
you can pick a screen.
Excellent. And you guys gonna be doing the signed copies again through your store?
Yeah,
we'll be doing them.
There you go. So
yeah, the link. Yep, the link to their store is in the description already. Their links to their Twitters are in there. I think they also have Instagrams. I didn't put those yet. I can. But yeah, anywhere else we can find you guys at that we should know about?
No, that's pretty much it. But we will also have copies of the French edition on the store soon.
Oh, okay.
For those French speakers that don't live in France, so they can pick up a few. We've only got a few, but there'll be a few of those.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. I'm gonna have to brush up on my French. I've got like every edition, every variant cover of your guys, every printing. So let me brush up on my French Canadian there and the order. Guys, thank you so much for coming out. It was
thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
it.
Have a great one. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, guys.
And you.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. There you go, guys.
Sweet.
Good time. What did you guys think? Now, Lauren, did I give you guys? hard time with those questions? I mean, I think you guys fared pretty well
We
considering.
did okay. I
No,
mean,
that was pretty good.
It wasn't. It wasn't too. I tried to give you guys a fighting chance there at the end with the 10 bonus points.
you can't beat the partners in crime. You just
can't.
can't.
I know. We were hanging in there, but yeah, no cigar for us.
I gotta say, man, you had medium rare?
Yeah,
did.
absolutely, I did, because that's the way you eat it. You
But
have to.
that's honestly that's the only way to eat a steak. So I was pleased in your answer.
No,
there.
that vegetarian option that came out of nowhere, and it was just perfect. Like,
Dude, that was
It's
crazy.
still wrong, but it's valid. Just like they think it's wrong for me to eat meat. So we're all on the same page.
That was crazy, man. That was a lot of fun, man. Our first duo creators.
That was great. Y'all in the chat, let us know what you thought of the game, because that was the first time we did that with creators. So let us know if it was worth it for y'all.
We actually had that plan for quite some time. Having them on. So that was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for hanging out with us for our shenanigans. But the show's not over, guys.
Nope.
The show is not over. What do we have? Steve, did you want to give a shout out to T.O. Comic Man?
Absolutely. Thank you for that great segue that you gave. As usual, yesterday, Saturday, we ended up doing another book discussion on T.O. Comic Book Club. It was American Vampire Volume 1, written by Scott Snyder, with another story by Stephen King, and Raphael Albuquerque was the artist. Really great vampire. It kind of caps off what we dubbed Vampire Month, and it's just really a great book. Pearl is such a great character. I do really want to continue reading the volumes that have been released, because there's a lot of fun with this book, and I don't know, just there's something nice about Pearl as a character. So I'm probably going to keep checking that out. Obviously, we will be having another book discussion next Saturday. I don't know what it is yet.
Great job, Steve.
You know what? Come find us on Twitter at TO Comic Book Club. There you will find the Discord link. Join us on Discord, and then you could yell at me. Yell at me what book we should
yell at Steve. It's really fun.
I honestly take your input, and we could be reading whatever you choose next week. That being said, I do want to plug another thing. The Sequential Digital Comic Magazine. They did a nice shout out.
Yes.
Show. It's created by one of the members of TO Comic Book Club, Brendan, who's in a lot of the discussions. And Sequential, it's a great comic. It kind of, if you know Panel by Panel or Panel X Panel, it's kind of like that, but it also showcases a lot of Canadian writers and Canadian comics. You'll be able to find them on Twitter at SEQ Magazine. There you'll be able to find a link. Honestly, the magazines are free. They're on digital. You don't have to pay anything. If you can donate. But go check them out, because it's done by a great guy, and who doesn't love hearing about some behind the scenes stuff?
And if you pick it, if you get it, you'll have the first digital print of our stuff in a magazine. So that's really exciting. If you're big on being the first to collect stuff, you can have the first House of Nerd appearance in a magazine.
The first House of Nerd appearance in the magazine. Guys, you gotta cop this magazine.
And you don't have to pay anything, but if you're able to, even just a couple bucks, or even just $1 or $2 can definitely go a long way to supporting, small local work.
That's pretty cool. Do you have a photo of the? Did you guys grab that of our actual
the ad?
It's on our Twitter. I had it, but I didn't realize. I forgot Steve was mentioning it. To be fair, so I'm glad he remembered though.
We're in a magazine, guys.
Yeah, either way, check them out at SEQ Magazine. Honestly, if you want to read behind the scenes, just pick it up. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, and you'll probably like at least something about it.
It's pretty darn cool.
Yeah,
I like it. So
thanks
to them for thanks to Brendan and all involved for allowing us to have some put in it as well.
Absolutely.
Big thank you. Big thank you. Shout out, buddy. I appreciate that, man. Good looking, man. Appreciate loving the support. Joey, I will take you up on your offer for
You know, you guys need to save this for your OnlyFans because I feel like this is too early.
Say, it'll be private streaming only, private. If you guys want, I'm gonna drop the link in later.
Jesus, he won't.
You know,
if I ever see that link, Sergio, I'm gonna fall over and laugh.
I hope so.
So Sergio, that may be private, but you know what isn't private? Our take on the copper drop.
That's right, Steve. What a great segue.
Yeah. Fantastic segue, Steve. Copper dropped this week, guys. So we voted last week to was actually my choice, Reptillion.
Yep, I trusted you, Sergio, and we're gonna have to evaluate how this trust went.
Don't say the we word. We didn't vote anything. Someone voted for a book, and I want to hear the opinion of the choice that was picked.
So, Reptillion #1. It's from writer Garth Ennis.
Yep.
And Liam Sharp, man. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Let me kick it off with Steve.
Oh,
Steve,
perfect.
Yeah, buddy. What are you thinking of this first issue?
Okay, so I ended up actually picking up the physical version of this book because it was there. It was on the shelf, and I was like, "Oh, we're reading it. I'll pick it up. I got it."
Worth it for the art at the very least.
So the art is very unique. I'll say that. The art is very unique. It is a certain take on Batman as a character. I feel like the art really does encapsulate the Garth Ennis version of Batman. I will say this version of Batman is definitely not anywhere close to my perfect version of Batman or my ideal version of Batman. We've talked about it before. Every writer has their own iteration of the character. Certain fans will kind of sway towards one or the other. This version of Batman, I get it. He's like Frank Miller's Batman. He's tough, but in a way, he's kind of inhumane. He's torturing people in a way. He's brutalizing them. He just all around. He doesn't feel like a hero to me at all. And it's hard for me to kind of root for a Batman that just takes people's lives and uses them and just like abuses these people in a way. It's hard for me to root for this kind of Batman. It's a DC Black Label book, so honestly, they can do whatever they want with the character. But just this iteration of Batman, I get it. We've seen him before. There's nothing really new here for me. We'll talk about the art though, because the art, honestly, it's so stylized. It is a very different take, especially on how they view the enemies. Like if you look at Joker in this book, what a weird take on how Joker looks.
I gotta say, I was not a fan of that Joker look.
Neither was I, and I wasn't really a fan of a lot of this art, but I think part of it may have been I was reading it physically, and for whatever reason, maybe it was my copy alone. I don't know if your guys' copy were like this, but it was really dark. Like the art was really dark to see. I couldn't really make out a lot of the panels. It was a lot of browns, a lot of blacks and grays, and there wasn't really that many highlights. Like the digital version here is definitely a lot more colorful compared to the one I read. Like the one I read, I could barely make out a lot of the stuff I was reading, and for that, I was kind of disappointed with it. I was disappointed with the depiction of Batman and how he is as a character. I was kind of disappointed. As much as I like the unique take on the art, I was kind of disappointed that I couldn't really make out what was going on.
Okay. Yeah. Lauren, what are you thinking? What were your thoughts? What are your initial thoughts on Reptillion?
The art is fantastic. I'm actually a huge fan of this art style for a Batman book. It reminds me of there's that. Yes. Even though that one was a little too abstract for me, Liam Sharp's art here is the perfect balance of abstract versus I can still actually tell where people are and who they are. Whereas Asylum, even though I do love that art, it gets too abstract at times for me. So I'm a huge fan of this gothic art style for Batman. That said, so the art's fantastic. That is clear. That is no debate to me. I'm trying not to say it because it would completely give it away if I say the exact line. There are at least 3 parts in Garth Ennis's writing in this where Batman says something that we as the internet argue over all the time about Batman. That biggest argument about Batman, and he literally says it 3 times. And then he does, and then he tortures people, like you said. And I was just like, and it made me remember that Ennis interview that came out recently where he talked about, you know, he mocks superheroes, and he always has. That's not new. But, you know, he continued to talk about it. And so people, including me, were hesitant about this book after that. But people are like, oh, no, it's okay. Liam Sharp's doing the art. That's going to be great. It's Batman Black Label. Pick it up, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, but Ennis, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm gonna be a little harsh here with Ennis because, yeah, it was way too on the head. It was way too far to take on Batman. And I'm one of those people I like the gray area of Batman's character. I'm one of those people that I'm not like, Batman can't ever hurt anybody. I don't like him being a cop. I think it's dumb. But anyways, so I like seeing the gray areas of the character. This goes beyond the gray area. This just goes from one extreme of Batman can't ever hurt anybody to this other extreme. And it's beyond satire. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so I'm not a fan of Ennis's writing here. That's what kills me. Because again, if it wasn't written like that, I would be more of a fan. And again, the art's fantastic, and I want to be able to say I would continue buying this book for the art alone. But the problem is, I can't justify for me, and this is kind of where I've been this whole week. I've been debating it all week. I can't justify buying a book because the art's good if every time I read those words in his bubble, I want to roll my eyes. Like, it kind of kills it, man. And it sucks because Sharp's art's fantastic. So, yeah, I'm torn because the art's fantastic. I love the gothic elements. The story's not even that bad, but Ennis's writing of it is terrible execution.
Sergio, what are your thoughts on it?
I think first I wanna start off with a positive. Again, Liam Sharp's art is just insane. I like the gothic style, the stylized Batman with the cape and all that. It fits the style of the book. Everything, the darker color palette. I'm like, there was honestly more than a couple pages and panels. I was just stuck staring, like very crazy. And I had a question here. Oh no, that's not the one.
I mean, Joey does make a great point, and
So the art, I think I saw something that it's painted. I believe
it looks painted. That's what I was thinking.
It does. It looks painted. If it was done digitally, then in the painting style, right? But first and foremost, the art is it's incredible, man.
So beyond the art, what are your thoughts? Because I think we're all in consensus on that, and that's literally everybody, right? Nobody's saying the art is bad here. We all agree the art is phenomenal. So what about the actual writing, the characterization?
Listen, I'm
just say it, Serge. Yeah. We're honest here.
Yeah,
we keep it real, guys.
I was not a fan of the Batman's portrayal, the writing, the dialogue. The dialogue some of it was like too on the nose. It was like what's the word I'm looking for?
Cliche?
Not even cliche. It's like he was like a caricature of himself, right? It was just
he was
right.
It felt like Ennis took Frank Miller's portrayal of Batman and then just like dialed it up to 20.
Yeah. Just a lot of just I honestly, Lauren, you said it. There were some things he said. I rolled my eyes and I was like, just not feeling it. I think
I think
almost so. But the thing that kind of confused me, is this done purposefully? Because there was after that whole opening scene where he confronts in front of the courthouse, the Bat. He comes back to the Bat Cave, and Alfred said I think to me said it best. He says, I thought the whole thing was a tad public, in regards to what he did.
And then Batman's
it's almost like, I feel like,
what do you want me to do? Be on the roof?
Right. So
which is what Batman does. Like here's the thing. I think you said it well when you say he's a caricature of himself, Batman. Here's the thing. If you want to make a hot take on Batman and call out superheroes for that stuff, then just do what they would do and make fun of what they actually do. If you think it's dumb that Batman just lurks on roofs and doesn't go see people, then just make him being on a roof and make fun of him being on a roof. Yeah. Like, this was ridiculous. And again, there's one line that he says 3 times that I'm even now I'm struggling to say, because I think this would get, I see people in the chat talking about this, that would really get across the point that it was really too on the nose. Like in this case, I know other people like Ennis's work, and that's fine, but just this work by itself, he really, he had too hard on the nose when Batman said blah, 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 and they said again, and then again. It was like, I don't want to read a Twitter forum, dude. Like, if you're going to make fun of this stuff, do better at making fun of it.
I mean, we've got some people saying some of their thoughts on the comments. Dragon Ranger, he says, I'm not a big Batman guy, but I love this book. I like Batman being more brutal.
I want to say, Dragon Ranger, I agree with your general consensus of, I love the gray area Batman. I like him being more darker, all these different things. But this wasn't written well. I need to find something else that's better for you to read where he's more brutal, because this was not it.
Yeah, honestly,
this wasn't it.
And I think for me, I do want to say, not to knock anyone's depiction of Batman, right? Same with Superman. There's a certain ideal version that everyone wants their character to be. I understand that. I understand there's a different version of Superman. There's a different version of Batman. I understand a version that's a little bit more brutal and violent, obviously. Like, Snyder's version of Batman, not Scott Snyder. The Batman movie coming out with Robert Pattinson, you can already tell he's more savage. I love that. That's phenomenal. And hopefully it will be phenomenal when the movie actually comes out, right? We haven't seen the movie to judge fully. But like here, this wasn't just Batman.
I think with me is again, there's different versions of Batman, and on that last point, I'm okay with Batman being in the gray areas and more brutal. It was how it was
he was
written.
torturing people.
It was the actual,
and it wasn't written well. That's the thing. It's okay.
For me, at the end of the day, it wasn't done well, guys.
Well, and here's my take. I actually am one of those people, not to start the debate, okay, but I just want to tell you where I'm coming from. I actually do think Batman kills or can kill. I do think so, and any continuity. But besides that point, that's where I come from. So I really do love a brutal Batman and the gray area stuff. That said, he only would kill, to me, under certain circumstances. Here, it just looked like he was having fun, like the Joker would, torturing and killing people, or the Riddler.
Honestly.
And even though I love correlating how Batman is similar to his villains and how they're similar to him, I think that's what makes his rogue gallery so fascinating. But here it was like they were same people. It was creepy. How is he worse than the Joker?
That's what I was thinking.
If anything, they can be equal, but he can never be worse than the Joker.
Like what he was doing to that one criminal in this instance of this book, he was torturing him. He was mentally torturing him. Honestly, Batman in this issue alone, he's worse than the villains. Like a villain would outright kill him.
So
he'll mentally torture him rather than help him. Like a hero should be able to help the people in need. This criminal guy, honestly, maybe he deserves what he's been given. Maybe he doesn't. But at the end of the day, Batman's just being a bully and just destroying the guys.
And here's the thing: it's one thing if, let's say, he has a criminal that's an asshole, and Batman gets pushed too far, and he just beats the shit out of him because he says, "Fuck you, I'm done with your shit." That I agree with. Yeah, I don't agree with the fact that somebody's actually fairly innocent. Yeah, they're still a criminal, but they're literally cowering, and he's still. At some point, Batman wouldn't continue torturing them. They'd say, "Okay, whatever. I'm going to lock you up, go to jail," and then he's going to go find some asshole that's really a shithead to actually torture, that deserves torturing. Batman, even though he's not always right, if he does ever go that far, he determines who deserves it, which is actually correlation to Two-Face, how he judges by his coin, right? So again, Batman and his villains foil each other, but
so this is a very different, unique depiction of Batman. Either you like it or you don't. Serge, what's your response? Should people cop or drop this book?
I'm dropping it.
Okay. Lauren, what about you?
I feel like people saw this coming, and I feel like there's people in the chat, they're like, "Oh man, you guys just don't like, Batman killing you. You guys can't handle a take." So that's why you're dropping it. Again, it wasn't executed well. Again, I want a take. I want more brutal Batman takes where he actually does go too far, but it has to fit his character and it has to make sense in terms of
it has to be well done. Yeah.
Like, good example, the Batman White Knight universe. At one point, he nearly kills the Joker, and he's almost pushed to it. And I can't remember what happens in that. I need to reread it. But that one has a better take of Batman becoming brutal. He gets a little nicer, but it's a start. So I'm dropping it, to be fair, which is a shame because, again, Liam Sharp's art is fantastic, and his gothic Batman art is my favorite Batman art.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah.
Steve, what are you thinking, bro?
Yeah, on my end, I honestly finished reading it, and maybe I was disappointed with the physical print of it because again, it was so dark I didn't really get to appreciate the artwork, and even just that depiction of Batman, I've already said I can't really get behind. For me personally, I'm dropping. Obviously anyone can cop it if that's your feel. This is not for me.
And for those who enjoyed it, man, that's dope, man. Glad you're enjoying it, man. Love what you love.
Honestly, I wish I enjoyed it more because I was really hyped when I read the premise of this. And as future issues go on, I'm interested to see if the plot does evolve better. But yeah, I can't get behind it for issue to issue. If I hear it gets good, I'll pick up a trade or something in the future. But
I mean, at the end of the day, I've been hype about this since they teased it. I obviously wanted to really like this. I thought I would. Yeah. Just for me, it was just the execution. It's not so much the Batman's character, the darker stuff. No, I dig that stuff. Even like the torture, just how it was executed was not done well in my opinion.
Agreed.
All right, so House of Nerds show drop.
Drop. Is this our first unanimous drop?
It might be
Shadow Man. No, because Drake Ranger mentioned
Shadow Man. That's right. Yeah.
I was thinking
that wasn't a unanimous one, was it?
Well, I wanted to drop it. Steve wanted to, didn't you? Want to drop it, Sergio?
Oh, okay. So there you go.
I don't remember if you wanted to drop it, Serge.
No, that was a drop for me as well.
Okay,
I wasn't feeling that. Look at that. Okay.
We're honest on here. We're honest. Everyone has their own opinions, so we're honest.
Guys, what we can recommend, it seems like we're all fans of the art. And if you're enjoying it, enjoy it, man. That's
but we are going to be real and say we didn't enjoy it. But if you like it, then you be real with you too. Absolutely.
Yeah. Having said, moving on, guys.
We got to pick out this coming week.
Do you guys have some for me to?
We definitely do. We come prepared.
We have to trust Sergio.
Okay.
I think I got him.
So who do you want first?
Lauren, let's hear your pitch. What do you got for me?
All right.
Yeah.
So Steve's gonna pull up the picture. Yep, he's got it. We are going back to the indies because we've been doing some DC and Marvel for a while, and we like to make sure we highlight our indies here. So I picked out Parasomnia from Dark Horse Comics, number 1.
Fun.
Yeah.
Andrea Muti on the art?
Who? I'm sorry?
Andrea Muti.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Colin Bunn and Andrea Muti. Yep. And this is a new dark fantasy tale of two worlds split between dreams and reality. So if you remember, we picked up OBE and stuff that kind of plays with reality. This is similar but different, and it's a fantasy take. You can kind of see the monster drawn on that cover. Yeah. After his son disappears, a broken down man braves a nightmare streamscape in order to find him and battle the ruthless cult that seeks to rule the land of dreams as a barrier between reality starts to collapse. So it's fans for The Sixth Gun, Harrow Country, Lock and Key. It's got two things I know you love, Sergio. It's got focus on the difference between dreams and reality, what's happening, and all these fantastical elements. And it's got a father-son story, which I know you personally are huge on reading those. Philadelphia is a good example, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, this seems like a good read. I didn't even know about it until I was looking for Copper Drop this week.
Hey, listen, that was not on my radar at all, to be honest. That looks intriguing. Color me intrigued.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steve, what do you got for me, buddy?
You know what my response to that is? We're on our 11th episode. We've already done 2 Copper Drop books, Shadow Man and Basilisk, that were written by Cullen Bunn. Let's get some different people involved in this, right?
Okay.
11th episode. Why are we making our 3rd Copper Drop of 11 episodes another Cullen Bunn?
Hey, it's not my fault. Cullen Bunn just keeps writing good shit. I don't know what to tell you.
There's a lot of other indies.
How does he put out so much? Like, my dude, he's writing like 6-7 ongoings. Like that.
At least it feels like.
He is. But you know what book he's not writing? My pick, God Killer. God Killer number 1. Now, the artist for this is Anya Weischek, which, if my facts are correct, is the artist for Home.
Yeah.
So we'll be giving another good shout out to an artist that you enjoy.
Did she do that? Is that her cover though?
No, there's no way.
I don't think
Okay, I was gonna say it doesn't look like her style at all.
That does not look like her. I mean, it could be. It doesn't look like her style. Yeah.
I'll double check. You keep talking.
yeah. So this is another choice that could be good for Sergio. It's post-apocalyptic. You know, there's some elements of like that going on.
Mhm.
I think the main thing right here is it's not Cullen Bunn, and we should really be open to other indie writers.
Who publishes this though? Who's the publisher? Because that
I
matters.
feel like that's an aftershock.
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
I don't think it did. Maybe it is. Well, no, there's God Killer. Is it? It's not God Killers,
No,
is it?
it's got like a subtitle to it. I can't remember right now.
Okay.
Well, I'm looking, but
Cool.
I think the reason I ask is because
you mentioned
when I was looking, I think it's a smaller publisher.
Post-apocalyptic book.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's right up your alley.
Well, that's it. Post-apocalyptic.
I'm not gonna.
Everything's post-apocalyptic.
I'm not gonna
Man.
spill it all.
Well, you didn't say anything.
Hey,
I
I'm pulling
almost,
Sergio method here. I'm downplaying your book and just saying as little as possible on my
Hey.
choice.
Sergio, are you gonna let your own method work on you, bruh?
You better.
Are you really gonna let that happen to you?
oh man,
That'd be a damn shame.
what is the audience saying, man?
Okay, so this book it's published by Black Mask Studios.
Oh,
It's called God Killer: Tomorrow's Ashes #1.
mhm.
And it's in a future where this is
Yep.
why it's the perfect thing. So
He was right.
it'll
Thank
be
you, commenting on me.
it'll be happening on a day that we've dubbed Independence Day because it'll be July 4th.
Mhm.
So we'll be doing it on that day, and the story involves a twisted future where America has been divided into warring city-states.
I thought Steve, I thought you were doing the Sergio method. Now you think you're losing, so you're upgrading. Get out!
And I gotta say, ooh man, this is sounding
Warring states, man. Independence Day.
ooh.
So my question is, where do I get Black Mask books at? Like this publisher, where do I get their books? Because if we get it, where the hell do I go get it? Anybody know?
Very small.
Like, I'm
indie.
dead serious.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I feel like this is almost something that had to be pre-ordered. But we'll figure out those logistics if I go. You guys honestly made it. You guys made it very tough for me this week.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Honestly, this is
So win
probably.
either way.
There's not a clear. I mean, you on the one hand.
The subtitle of the book is called Tomorrow's Ashes. Come on, that's dope.
I don't know. I'm your Dragon Ranger. He doesn't fuck around, Bun.
Shadowrun, we've had him on, and
Get your buns on
Twice.
Sergio's OnlyFans.
We've already had Bun on twice for Copper Drop.
Yeah.
And we dropped one and we copped one. We gotta break it. It's tied. We gotta see it out. Third one's the charm.
Or for Independence Day, we have a book about America
It's
in a
still an independent book.
states. Warring states.
You're not even American. You're Canadian. Shut up.
Which is why I like the idea.
You just want to win.
Black Mask, I like their stuff. They put out some of really underrated, under the radar titles. It's got Anna Weisscheck on it. I'm curious to see if she switches up her interior style because Home, she's got that very, I guess, animated cartoon.
The writer is Matt Mazzolo.
And this sounds like a different. The premise is completely different style book. So I'm curious to see if she's gonna switch up the style. But then, I love Andrea Muti's interiors, and then combined with Bun, that's like a good combo there too. I'm curious to see how that. You guys made it really tough. I know we're trying to wrap this up. Damn, I honestly don't. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with the Black Mask joint. Yeah, God Killer.
God Killer.
Sergio, you have to get me yet because I don't know where the hell to get this.
Okay.
But yeah, sounds good.
I'm gonna go with that. Just because I think the
let me.
because we've had Bun twice already. Let's switch it up, man.
Okay, that's not a fair way to judge it. Just because we're on the bug.
Well, listen,
Absolutely, it's fair.
That's all good.
Steve.
It's only fair because you won, Steve. If you didn't win, you'd be throwing a fit too. Shut up.
You didn't pick my Wonder Woman, and look where we are now. I told you I'd get you back.
Hey, we learned. I learned. Did you learn, Steve? No.
Oh, man. So guys, so next week, God Killer #1. For those watching live or the replay, pick it up with us, man. You know, definitely we want to hear your thoughts. I feel like there's a lot of potential there. So
sure.
I'm definitely looking forward to reading that. Curious to see how it plays out. So tune back in next week.
And before we go, Serge, I didn't know if you remember this or not. So within hopefully by tomorrow, we are going to post a couple advanced reviews on the channel, guys. Since our show's been really long today, we had our guests on. We wanted to make sure we gave them time, but we do have some great advanced reviews coming out very soon that we want to give attention to those creators. They are indie books. So we are going to be putting those up on the channel. So make sure you are subscribed to the House Nerd Show channel on YouTube. You like us, you hit that bell so you get a reminder when it comes up, because we'll be reviewing Tales and Techno Horror, which is from Scout Comics, and Everyone is Tulip.
Everyone is Tulip. Okay, guys, this one should be interesting because it's from Dave Baker. He's the writer, co-creator on, the Night Hunters book.
Yeah.
Which is actually from Black Mask, I believe. So if you guys have familiar with his writing, he's got a new joint coming out. Everyone is Tulip. I believe it drops this Wednesday in comic shops next month, in the bookstores. So we'll have that up. Check it out. See if you guys can read along with us. And then the other one, Tales and Techno. We did an advance review or an FOC shout out on that one, right? So
we did,
We did. Yep, but we'll have a full review up.
We'll have a full review. Man. I'm gonna look into this God Killers. I'm actually pretty hype about that. And apparently there's an animated movie for that too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So there was for the writer and artist, there was an original God Killer. So let's not kind of get confused. There was.
Is it something different?
I don't know. Honestly, it doesn't mention in the summary that this is a sequel to that, but it has to be maybe tangentially related because it does have that God Killer moniker. But this is God Killer, Tomorrow's Ashes.
Okay, cool. Looking forward to reading it. You both brought the heat with the choices this week, though.
You know what? My heat just doesn't matter. Why do I try?
Joey says,
I'm done with your picks.
You're fired up today.
Yeah, Joey. Steve and I are going to fight. That's why we're right next to each other. You get him.
Looking forward to that. Man, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We had a blast with all of you guys on the live chats, man. Hope you enjoyed us hanging out with Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips. And please, guys, pick up That Texas Blood. That's issue #1, but pick up issue #7 Wednesday. If you haven't already checked out my advanced review, it's great stuff. You guys are going to love the artwork. You're going to love the pacing of the new arc so far. Promise you're not going to go wrong with this one.
If you haven't read it, Volume 1 is currently available, so pick that up.
Yeah, pick it up. It's out. It's been out for a minute. My favorite title of the past year, no questions. It's that good, guys.
Oh, Philadelphia is gonna come get you, Sergio.
Yeah, hey, Philadelphia is up there. But That Texas Blood definitely for sure. From issue 1, guys. Actually, issue 1's probably one of my favorite single issues in the last couple.
Alrighty.
Yeah. So that's it, guys. Please, if you're digging the content, like, subscribe. As Lauren always says, hit the bell, please, for your notifications. And come hang out with us next week. This has been the House of Nerd Show.
Where can they find us on Twitter, Serge?
Oh, that's right. You can find me, Insert Name INC on Twitter, Insert Name Comics on Instagram. Lauren, where can they find you?
On Twitter at friendlynbhdbi and Instagram at friendly neighborhood. Bye.
There you go. Nice. Steven.
Yep. You can
Where can
find me
people find you?
on Twitter at Stovepost. You can find Teal Comic Book Club at Teal Comic Book Club. Find the Discord link there and join us. We'll have a conversation about whatever books you're reading. And also check out Sequential Magazine at SEQ Magazine.
Yep.
It's free. Check them out if you want to read behind-the-scenes stuff on Canadian artists and writers and comic books.
Awesome. Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Thanks, y'all.
Great Sunday. This has been the House